It's the final week of the CCL season, one of the final home games of the season for the Merchants, who face the CRAWDADS for the second time in this all-important final week of the regular season. Right now, these two teams tied in the CCL standings. The Merchants holding on to that final playoff spot thanks to the tiebreaker. But these are two evenly matched squads who have gotten awfully familiar with one another, and a crucial game with under 5 games remaining left in the regular season. I'm Ethan Siegel, joined alongside Kyle Floyd for what should be an exciting contest. The Merchants yesterday went on the road to Walnut Creek, won that one 7-4, a bit of a wayward contest, but still broke a 4-game losing streak and a positive sign for a Merchants team.
Especially coming off that slow series, which we talked about in detail yesterday, but in speaking with Coach Fairfield before the game, he said, hey, even entering that slow series, we said no matter what happens here, we're still going to control our own destiny. And that is true. The win yesterday is big on controlling their destiny in a positive way. They take 3 or 4 from Walnut Creek, and take care of business against San Francisco, which has really struggled this season, and they'll be in good position. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to continue to get this offense going, Coach Fairfield says. 7 runs on 7 hits yesterday. If they have a repeat performance today, then you got to like their chances.
And not just the 7 runs on 7 hits, Kyle. I would also add really important 4 walks and 4 hit by pitches for the Merchants yesterday. Just a lot more similar to what we saw from this offense in June. But first up, we're going to see the Merchants defense. And on the bump today is Jaden Bitter, who has been the Merchants' main strikeout guy this summer. He comes in making his 8th start of the summer, has a 3.95 ERA. He's 3rd in the CCL in strikeouts, has 38 in his 27 or so innings of work. But it really kind of has been flip a coin. Which kind of Jaden Bitter day are we going to get? Sometimes it's led to some blow-up innings. At times he's looked dominant.
When we went to Sonoma a couple weeks ago, he was excellent. 7 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. When he faced Sonoma here, that was that silly game that got out of control. He was not so great, but the first game in slow, he was great. Coach Fairfield has said, when Bitter's on the mound, we feel good. We hope we get that good Bitter today.
Bitter, who is fastball, slider, curveball, will get ready for the first pitch of the ball game. It'll be against Ryan Ellis, who is leading off and DHing today for the CRAWDADS. First pitch swung on and sent out into right center. Nahar is sprinting back, and he's going to have to chase that one out to the wall. A first pitch to the warning track for Ryan Ellis and a stand-up double. This CRAWDADS team was mashing extra base hits, 4 doubles in yesterday's contest. Pick up right where they left off on the first swing against Jaden Bitter today.
Yeah, they really started to hit that left center field gap yesterday afternoon. This one to the right center field gap and just an ambush. Not a bad pitch from Bitter. It was a little up in the zone toward the outside part of the plate, but Ellis was looking for it, and he was able to deposit it out there into right center. And we'll see if Bitter maybe tries to mix it up early in the at-bat against Clisby here.
Last time we saw Bitter was in the slow series last weekend against the Blues. 5 innings, 4 hits, gave up 1 run and 1 walk, struck out 7 on 70 pitches. Bitter has been the one starter that TC Fairfield has trusted to consistently go 5+ innings in these games, as we'll quickly get time asked for by the batter Brandon Clisby, who we've usually seen as the catcher this season, but is playing left field today for the CRAWDADS. It's the Merchants in their navy uniforms, the CRAWDADS in their black on gray pinstripe uniforms. Bitter checks in on Ellis at second before firing the second pitch of the ball game. A breaking ball low in the zone, getting a swing and a miss. Defensively for the Merchants in the outfield from left to right, Jack Bollinger, Dominic Nahar, and Aiden Tackless. In the infield at third base, Caleb Latimer. At shortstop, Jace Jeremiah. At second, Brendan O'Sullivan. At first, Angelo Luna. And behind the dish is Riley Winchell, who awaits the 0-1 offering from Bitter. Another swing and a foul tip. So quickly, Clisby behind 0-2.
And we have indeed seen the first 2 pitches of this at-bat have been off speed, and you've seen Clisby way out in front. So perhaps Bitter detected that was going to be a plan for them to try to jump on the fastball. He can make adjustments and stay ahead of the hitters. His stuff is good enough to continue to be successful.
It's a 65-degree and sunny night in Alameda as Bitter goes back to the breaking ball, swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout, a quick response from that leadoff double. And Kyle, as you like to say, that was a good morning, good afternoon, and good night instance right there against Brandon Clisby.
Yes, and out in front every single time, including that little spin when he goes reaching for that breaking ball at the end. He had him off balance every single pitch. We'll see if he can keep that up against not only a left-handed hitter now, but one of the better ones in the CCL.
So now it's Joey Donnelly, who Kyle, you mentioned, one of the best hitters in the CCL. Hasn't done much this season against the Merchants, as we'll check on a checked first swing, and the third base umpire, Eden Tews, said indeed Donnelly did go. This season, Donnelly hitting .385. That's the best on the Crawdads. Second best in the CCL, behind only Ben Lee of the Philippines Baseball Group. Hitter from the stretch. Tosses the 0-1 and another foul tip. So second straight batter. Bitter's been ahead 0-2.
And the second straight batter, I don't think we've seen a fastball since that fastball to Ellis. Got Donnelly out in front of that pitch as well.
Donnelly doubled late in yesterday's contest and brought in 2 runs. But that was his lone hit on the day, 1 for 4. Just 3 for 17 against Alameda this season. That's a 176 batting average. Now the 0-2 pitch. Left a tad outside for ball 1.
It's such a big inning early in a big situation early. You don't want to oversell it, but things are feel like they're really about momentum right now for this Merchants team. When they get on a roll, they can really, really get going.
So now the 1-2 pitch, back to the breaking ball and back to the strikeout. Second of the day for Jaden Bitter. Sit him down, Clisby and Donnelly in order. And ever since that first pitch double, the Crawdads have been able to do nothing with Ryan Ellis just patiently waiting on second base.
And again, just refusing to give in to Donnelly there. Pitch before looked like it may have been a fastball, but off the outside corner. No damage could be done on that pitch, and then he came back into the zone, but with an off-speed pitch. Great pitching from Bitter. See if he can get out of this unscathed.
Brings up Zach Justice, catching today. Yesterday went 2 for 4. Both of his hits were singles. Takes the first pitch, another breaking ball in the zone for strike 1.
Front door that time. Really important to keep this guy off balance as well. He has shown some real extra base power these past few games for Walnut Creek.
Leads the Crawdads with 3 home runs this summer. Did he hold up? He did indeed, so count moves to 1-1 on a tempting breaking ball that Justice nearly showed the stick at, but was able to maintain control. Umpires today, home plate umpire Harvey Maxey, mentioned Eden Tews out at third, Robert McGee at first. Infield playing deep at the edge of the dirt. This time, Justice does offer on a check swing, so falls behind 1-2 in the count.
And I sound like a broken record, but nothing but breaking balls, and well-placed breaking balls in this at-bat. We should note the second baseman holding the runner a lot of room on that right side in case Justice takes one the other way.
Another breaking ball, this one tapped back toward the Crawdads dugout. Early in the season, Bitter was throwing that slider just as much as he was throwing the fastball. He is a very breaking ball heavy pitcher. If anything, uses that fastball as a tertiary pitch to the movement that he shows.
Almost uses it to set up, uses that slider to set up the fastball.
Now the 1-2, just inside. Left that one a little bit too close to the black, so count evens at 2-2.
And that's a perfect case. He's got him waiting for that slider on the outside corner, so you come inside with the fastball, just didn't catch the corner. You had him frozen. He could go either way here with the 2-2.
So runner on second, 2 outs.
Yeah, I was hoping to try to connect to my hotspot.
Bottom of the first inning. On the mound today for Walnut Creek, the right-hander Cody Perry. This summer making his second start, 8th overall appearance. Comes in with a 3.38 ERA and just over 13 innings of work. We last saw him a dozen days ago against the Stompers through 2 innings of scoreless ball, struck out 2. And he'll start things out against Dominic Nahar. First pitch misses upstairs for a ball.
Perry will go fastball, changeup primarily, also mixes in a curveball and a slider.
Nahar takes the 1-0 off of him. Said yesterday, 4 hit-by pitches for these Merchants, and now 5 in a 10-inning span. A lot of these pitches have gone inside, and the Merchants will take them, but it definitely led to some chippiness in the later stages of yesterday's contest.
You talked about how these teams have gotten familiar with each other and will continue to. Both of the games we've seen, the last 2 games we've seen, there's been some fireworks, some animosity between these 2 teams, and you imagine the same is coming. They both are very energetic, they're both a little bit chirpy, and they both know what they're fighting for.
So the always threatening Dominic Nahar moves over to first base. 24 stolen bases on the season as Jeremiah pops one foul. Chased out by the first baseman Taylor, but just snuck out of play. Nahar has those 24 stolen bases, but the Merchants have played less games than any other team in the North Division because they went to that tournament up in Canada where Nahar actually broke the Grand Forks International Tournament record for stolen bases. He stole 9 bases in those 5 games. So if you count those, his stolen bases number up around 33, close to Quincy Villa at the top of the CCL leaderboard. Now the 0-1 to Jace Jeremiah, left north of the equator for ball 1.
As we've talked about in recent games, a little less success for him. He's been caught a few times the last few games, and he's got to be careful here with the arm of Zach Justice behind the plate. We've seen what he can do.
Perry readies for the 1-1 pitch. Jeremiah thought about it, but held back. Ball 2. Perry played his collegiate ball this past season at Claremont McKenna, where he threw 20 innings this past season, a 4.05 ERA. 22 strikeouts to 6 walks, and didn't allow a home run all season. Good at keeping the ball in the park. Now checking in on Nahar is the pitcher Perry. Nahar back in with time to spare.
Was very good his 2024 season as well. 23 strikeouts in 18 innings. Had a pitcher of the week honor in there as well.
The 2-1 missed inside, and Nahar faked like he was going, calling the first baseman Taylor to call out for a runner, but by the time Justice collected the ball and looked up, Nahar was standing still. No outs, runner on first, a 3-1 count to Jace Jeremiah. Now the runner will go, and a light tap over to third base from Jeremiah, checks in on the runner at first, and now Taylor fires over to third. Nahar, aggressive base run, and goes from first to third on a softly hit ball to the third baseman. The first out will be recorded, but Nahar moves all the way over to third base as a result of the action.
And he read that the entire way. He did not slow up on that ground ball. As he was approaching second base, he had his eyes locked on Leininger at third, and as soon as he let go, he was off. If Leininger had taken even a glance over to second base, he could have gotten Nahar in the rundown.
So it brings up Aiden Tackless. The Merchants trying to take the lead. They jumped out to the lead in yesterday's contest. Tackless takes the first pitch for ball 1. Sacrifice fly would be in the realm of possibility with less than 2 outs on the board. Tackless was 1 for 4 yesterday, had 2 RBI, and was plunked by a pitch. Takes the 1-0 outside.
Drove in a couple runs yesterday. Usually can count on him to make some good contact, especially in the air. It's worth noting, he's one of these hitters in the middle of the lineup that as he gets more comfortable these last few games, we could start to see a lot more power. Heard the sound off the bat. It's real impressive. 233 isolated power this spring.
The 2-0 breaking ball finds the zone for a strike. Tackless making his 10th start of the summer, joined the team late. And since then, the Merchants have been mostly on the road, but Still, Tackless has struggled in the limited home games, hitting just .067 at home compared to .300 in road contests. Another breaking ball lifted high. Count moves to 3-1.
And before the game, I was really looking at the left-handed hitters in this lineup. We got Tackless, Amosa after, Bollinger later, Luna later, and a fastball changeup guy like Perry. If he doesn't have that off-speed going, these lefties can feast on him.
Checked to see if he went on the 3-1, and he did indeed. It was clearly above the zone. Would have been ball 4, but Tackless couldn't hold up. So now a full count.
Just looking for contact here. Excuse me, Ethan.
Remains on third. We'll take a brief break. And as you mentioned, Kyle, good pointing out, one of the most lefty-heavy lineups we've seen for this Merchants offense all season long. 4 in the lineup today, including Tackless. A 3-2 pitch now. Loops into the zone, strike 3. Tackless got ahead in the count, but Cody Perry battled back and threw a handful of breaking balls high in the zone that really made Tackless struggle.
Hitter, number 25, Tui Amosa.
Yeah, it looked like that maybe started inside to Tackless and he gave up on it. Kind of a borderline pitch. Not a whole lot you can do with it. Call just didn't go his way that time.
Really important second out for the Crawdads, as now you just need to take care of Tui Amosa to end the inning with Nahar on third. Seen both teams start with the lead runner getting aboard. Crawdads offense stalled out, 3 consecutive strikeouts. The Merchants trying to avoid something similar here in the bottom of the inning as the 0-1 pitch sits on the outside part of the zone. So now Amosa down 0-2. Amosa got his first hit and RBI of the season in yesterday's game, went 1 for 5, but struck out twice. Perry heaves the 0-2, left way high.
And as that because the Merchants would be facing teams with pitchers who struggle with control. Not a whole lot of breaking balls from Perry, but one in the dirt. We watched Nahar.
1-2
Right on cue.
is indeed in the dirt, but stays within reaching distance for the catcher, Justice. Defensively for the Crawdads. In the outfield from left to right, it's Brendan Clisby, Trey Johnson, and Joey Donnelly. The infield, Riley Leininger at third, Nico DeFazio at shortstop, Hirayama at second, Cam Taylor a bit low, and second straight batter with a full count.
That looked like that changeup on 2-2, which is his out pitch against left-handed batters. It's a good sign for the Merchants if Amosa is able to take a pitch like that in this count. Wonder if Perry will double up on that.
Pitch from Perry. Swing and a miss. Amosa goes down. The high heat from
CRAWDADS first baseman number 5, Cam Taylor.
Back for the top of the second inning. Jaden Bitter, 3 strikeouts in the first after giving up a leadoff double. Those 3 strikeouts ties him for second overall in the CCL with the Menlo Park Legends Joseph Lee. He's now just 3 behind the CCL lead, chasing A.J. Crodell of the Foresters. First pitch of the second inning to Cam Taylor, a swing and a miss. More of the same for Jaden Bitter, who we were wondering which version of Bitter we'd get today. So far, it's the high strikeout dominant Bitter.
5 batters, 5 first pitch.
First pitch strike, second pitch foul. 0-2 count for Jaden Bitter so far in this game.
Coach Fairfield said before the game, in emphasizing the offense, it's likely that one of these games is going to be a high-scoring game. You're hoping with Bitter on the mound, it will not be. Looks like it might be that way so far.
So now the 0-2 swung on, chopped over towards the middle of the infield. O'Sullivan is over and turns and tosses for the first out of the second. Cam Taylor sat down to start out this second frame.
The mound.
Brings up Riley Leininger, the CCL All-Star, who was 1 for 4. 3 strikeouts yesterday, but did double and had a crucial fielding error that allowed the Merchants to tack on 2 more and give them the cushion they needed to win yesterday's ball game. Another first pitch strike. This one was not in the strike zone. It was low and outside, but Leininger swung anyways.
Yeah, Leininger out in front. Perhaps he wants to do something big to correct for that error. That was, you used the word crucial, that's correct.
Bitter misses low on the second offering.
Talked about how this Merchants defense has slid a little bit, but the Crawdads defense especially in the last week or so has really betrayed them. Betrayed a good pitching staff.
1-1, another swing and a miss. Bitter's been firing on all cylinders early in this game.
Want to note with the Merchants defense as well in the corners, Tackless and Bollinger, both cannons for arms.
1-2. A filthy breaking ball.
I have nothing to add.
So now the 2-2 pitch from Bitter. Swung on and tapped over to O'Sullivan once again. He fields it cleanly again and tosses it over for the second out. Early, busy second inning, I should say, for Brendan O'Sullivan, but that's now 5 straight retired for Jaden Bitter.
Yeah, really working that outside corner to left-handed hitters. Both Taylor and Leininger got them both out in front. That's a very good sign. He's got a fast left-handed hitter here in Trey Johnson, so you're hoping you get a similar ground ball, if not a strikeout, but you'll have to move quickly in that case.
Brings up Trey Johnson, who is up toward the top of the lineup yesterday, and the 7 today. He takes a first pitch strike. Trey Johnson hitting .230 in exactly 100 at-bats this summer. Just 4 for 22 against the Merchants, 182 against Alameda. Another second pitch strike from Bitter, and once again, he's up ahead 0-2 against the Crawdad. Really been able to take control. He's been in the driver's seat against every batter since Ellis. Now the 0-2 pitch misses outside. And when you get ahead 0-2, Kyle, you afford yourself some pitches like that, some trying to get chases, and it allows you to maybe toss some pitches outside the zone and see if any Crawdads will bite.
Allows you to really play with their eye level, make them really think. See what he comes back into the zone with here.
Now the 1-2 from Bitter. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout of the day for Bitter. 6 straight retired. A 1-2-3 second inning for Jaden Bitter on the mound, and we'll head to the home half of the second on the Merchant Streaming Network.
Leading off for the Merchants.
Still scoreless
Second
here
baseman,
at
number 4,
Pat
Brendan
Bale Field.
O'Sullivan.
It's been a while since we've been here playing a ball game at home, Kyle. Definitely missed the stomping grounds.
Feels good to be back home, back up in the booth. That lovely view of the hills as the backdrop to Pat Bale.
Brendan O'Sullivan swings at the first pitch from Cody Perry. Although I did say pre-broadcast that the last time we were here was a game to forget, a 7-1 thrashing at the hands of the now CCL North leading Sonoma Stompers. And that game was not so much fun, but still happy to be back here nonetheless.
You were right. I forgot about it.
The
Flush it, as they say.
0-1 slider missed way outside for a ball.
O'Sullivan, really tough coming in the middle of the summer. We know the dangers of small sample sizes.
The 1-1 lifted out to left field. It should be an easy play for Brendan Clisby, who ranges under it and makes the play. But, Kyle, you were, I think, starting to mention some of the struggles for Brendan O'Sullivan. And with a easy flyout, I still think the point will remain.
And, yeah, just one hit so far this
Left
summer.
fielder, number 0,
And
Jack
you sometimes
Bollinger.
feel like a broken record or like you're not confronting reality when you continue to point to, well, it's just only so many games. The truth isn't the summer is only so many games, and O'Sullivan has even less. But worth noting that much better hitter this spring at 270, 284 back in 2024. He's got talent, and you just hope that in this small sample of a few games, we'll start to see some of the guys like O'Sullivan at least play a little more toward that talent offensively.
Bollinger brought the wood over the front of the plate on a check swing in the first offering, so it was behind 0-1. Jack Bollinger, another guy who recently returned to the lineup after missing the majority of June. Gets himself in a 1-1 count. He's currently riding a 6-game hit streak since he returned, hitting 261 since he came back. He's got exactly 1 hit in each of those 6 games since returning. As the 1-1 pitch, Bollinger disagrees with that call. He thought it was outside, but home plate umpire Harvey Maxey calls that one a strike on the outside part of the zone. He was also ejected in yesterday's game.
He's fiery, isn't he?
Certainly is. As the 1-2 gets inside on him, it'll be a hit by pitch. The reason he was ejected was yesterday's contest. A Crawdad pitcher threw behind him on the first offering. Bollinger then lifted one out into the outfield and exchanged some words with the pitcher on his way back to the dugout. And the umpire promptly heard that, and Bollinger was tossed from the game. This time, he gets what he wants, just getting hit by a pitch rather than a pitcher throwing all around him.
We've seen pitchers have some command issues, but that pitch behind him definitely seemed like a message in that game, so you understand why he was upset. I suppose he wasn't offering to buy him in and out. That's not why he got ejected?
No, I don't think so. But already 2 plunked batters in this ball game for the Merchants, 1 in each inning. It was Nahar in the first, and now Bollinger with 1 out in the second as Riley Winchell took the 1-0 pitch that caused the pitcher Cody Perry to fall down to the ground. Obviously some concern to make sure he's okay. He jumps right back up and resets, but always a scary sight whenever a pitcher hits the deck.
Not sure what happened there with his landing, just sort of lost his footing. But certainly hope that he's okay. 2-0 count now. We'll watch Bollinger at first. He hasn't moved yet, but we know they'll want to be aggressive.
Yeah, it looked like that front foot just kind of got off balance on the last pitch as Winchell smokes one over to the shortstop. DeFazio over to the second baseman Hirayama, over to Cam Taylor for the double play, an inning ender. Nice piece of defense by the Crawdads, and we'll head to the 3rd inning on the Merchant Streaming Network. Come back. All tied at 0. We enter the third inning here at Pat Bale Field, and thus far in the battle of bitter v. hitter, it's been all bitter so far.
I like that.
He's got 4 strikeouts through 2 with Hirayama, DeFazio, and Ellis, the leadoff hitter, due up here in the third inning. We saw Hunter Hirayama make his summer debut yesterday as a pinch hitter, went 0 for 1. Had some nice plays in the field at second base where he's playing today. Hirayama of St. Mary's, only 3 at-bats this past year after not playing in 2024, so chance for some live at-bats, first time in a while. Takes the first pitch, breaking ball, another first pitch strike for Bitter. You know, Kyle, I love talking about summer league teams and fun names. Summer 2022, played with the Portland Pickles. 14 at-bats with the Pickles.
You got to it before I could. I was right behind you, Ethan.
Another strike from Bitter, who just continues to throw hard and throw accurately. 0-2 spiked into the dirt, blocked by Winchell.
It's worth noting, Bitter still in the transfer portal. We've talked a few times about how important this summer is for a lot of these players. It's an audition for, maybe you want to go up a division or you're looking for a school, and so it takes on all of these at-bats, all of these innings take on a lot of importance, and you got to believe that Bitter has really improved his stock.
1-2 pitch. Froze Hirayama. Strike 3 looking. Number 5 on the day for Jaden Bitter, who continues to roll along in this ballgame.
You should note, he really struggled this spring at Ball State. A 10 ERA in 18 innings, which is almost unfathomable. I think we take for granted that Bitter can look like this, but he has really turned it up this summer. Entered today with 38 strikeouts in just 27 and 2/3 innings, and as you mentioned, he's got 5 already today.
Brings up Nico DeFazio, another first pitch strike, like clockwork at this point. And you mentioned him still being in the transfer portal. Down and slow, I got to talk with Dan Mills, who was talking about the college scouting and the recruitment process for the summer, and I was asking him as DeFazio taps one foul, so once again, Bitter's ahead. I was asking him, have there been college scouts at Pat Bale Field? And he was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, there's been college scouts at Pat Bale Field, so you never know who's in attendance today watching Jaden Bitter or even watching our broadcast. I hope they're tuned in after the fact to the Synergy cameras that have a better angle on what Bitter's actually been doing, but have to imagine Bitter's raised his stock this summer. Now the 0-2 pitch, another foul ball. DeFazio stays alive. Feels like every at-bat, Bitter's been getting ahead with first pitch strikes and then either 0-2 or 1-2 counts.
He's just really not giving in to guys with 2 strikes. Very few fastballs with 2 strikes, so you're seeing a lot of those swings out in front. Really sets him up for the fastball here if he wants to use it.
He'll try the 0-2 once again. Kicks and delivers.
There it is.
Strike 3, this time swinging. First time through the order for Jaden Bitter. 6 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, and a double. He's been sharp on the mound. With that strikeout, he ties for the CCL league lead with A.J. CRAWDADS of Santa Barbara.
Designated hitter number
With
2,
one more,
Ryan Ellis.
He'll be alone atop those standings. Kind of unfathomable that this guy wasn't an all-star, Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's too bitter, if you will, about it. Not with the way he's performing today.
I think it was certainly an oversight by the all-star choosing committee. The rare first pitch ball from Bitter to Ellis, the one guy who's been able to get a hold of him so far, took the first pitch of this ball game out to right center for a double.
Well, and that's the first pitch ball, the second time through the lineup for Bitter. That's how good he's been.
He's retired 8 in a row since facing Ellis in the top of the first. Gets right back to form with a strike to even the count at 1-1. And so far, other than Bitter and Brendan O'Sullivan, most of the Merchants fielders have just kind of had to stand there twiddling their thumbs, watching all these strikeouts. 1-1. Veers inside.
You saw a 12 strikeout performance from Ryan Featherston, I believe, out in San Luis Obispo. How does what you're seeing from Bitter compared to that.
It's similar, and if TC Fairfield is willing to let Bitter go, he could see something in the double digits in that strikeout total today. Is now the 2-1. Tapped over to O'Sullivan, the second baseman, who throws over for the third out of the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Jaden Bitter, who is rocking and rolling on the mound for the Merchants. We'll head to the bottom of the third.
Leading off for the Merchants, first baseman, number 22, Angelo Luna.
Kyle, we've got a pitcher's duel on our hands. It's still early, but Jaden Bitter has been phenomenal. But you were just saying in the break, you also like what you've seen from the righty Cody Perry.
Yeah, I talked about the Merchants maybe relying on that off-speed stuff not being strong, but he has mixed well and he has located well the first couple innings. So we could have a close game on our hands. Low-scoring affair. Home from third if you can.
The first two pitches both missed to Angelo Luna, who gets ahead in the count 2-0. Last year in the series between these two teams, the Crawdads took 5 of 7 contests as Luna swings through a good fastball high in the zone. This year, the Merchants have flipped the script. They've won 4 of the 6 so far, and these two teams will play 9 times this season, more than they'll face any other opponent. We already mentioned how chippy and familiar things have gotten. That's the 2-1 left outside.
First time we've seen a Merchants hitter in the driver's seat like this, I believe, since Jace Jeremiah, who ran a 3-1 count. See if Luna gets something he.
3-1 left high, so a leadoff walk for the Merchants. Angelo Luna takes his base. Good to see Luna reaching base. He's a guy who's hitting just .227 this season. A little bit better in terms of the on-base percentage, but anything that gets you on base starts to get the bat rolling, especially important during the last week of the season.
Yeah, just 3 hits so far in July for Luna, but you feel for him given that he's often rotating with 2 other guys at his first base spot. Tough to get into a rhythm with the number of games anyway, and he's playing fairly inconsistently.
Caleb Latimer takes a first pitch strike. Another guy who's struggled in July, hitting just .091, but does have a .310 on base percentage as infield playing at double play depth before Perry gets his signal and fires the 0-1 in the dirt. It gets a little bit away from Justice, but not far enough to warrant a steal attempt from Angelo Luna. Outfield-wise, outfield playing straight up, but we have an extra member out there in right center, a Goose who is looking perfectly stoic out there in right center. I don't think you're allowed to play with 4 outfielders, but
it's like a softball rover out there.
Now the 1-1 left high to Caleb Latimer.
Have to check the rule book for that one. Ethan, you spoke of these teams flipping the script. I'm going to flip the script on you and advocate for a bunt in this situation with Latimer struggling, but he's also got speed. to beat out a bunt. Luna's probably not a steal candidate. Why not get him moving here on the bases?
Takes the 2-1, which would also probably take away that bunt attempt. And you did. I'm usually the guy who's pounding the table for bunt attempts. And we haven't seen TC Fairfield do that a single time this season. So I think maybe with 5 games to go, I should maybe give up my hope to see some small ball. But in these types of close games, you always wonder, as now Latimer swings at a really nice breaking ball, got him chasing for the first out.
Well, you hit it. In what appears to be a close game is going to be a close game.
Dominic Nahar.
With the stuff that Perry has shown, and that was a nasty breaking ball. If you've got a hitter that's struggling, why not try to squeeze something positive? Go station to station a little bit. Especially with a contact hitter like Nahar, he'll put the ball in play and good things can happen.
Brings up Nahar, who was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, takes a first pitch strike. We usually see him aggressive against those first pitches. That time was frustrated with himself for letting that one go by him.
I think he might have been fooled a little bit. Big looping breaking ball. Just gave up on it.
Luna, not much of a steal threat on first, just 1 stolen base this season as Nahar takes a slider outside for ball 1. Nahar, despite the .327 average on the season, hitting just .158 in his last 5, and strikeouts have been a surprising issue for Nahar as of late. 7 strikeouts in his last 5 games, has at least 1 in each of those contests. Chops the 1-1 pitch down the third baseline, but just a hair foul. Nahar had a chance at an extra base hit, would have been his first since June 12th, but just about a foot too far to the left.
Yeah, just foul is right. A little out ahead of that one. Good to see him get to that pitch on the inside corner. Perry has been tough with 2 strikes.
The 1-2 taken outside. We've seen Justice have to move from his stance to retrieve a good amount of these balls through the first 3 innings.
He's been excellent blocking balls at the beginning of this game and really every game that we've seen him. We've seen some catchers where their reaction is a little late. They're not properly going down to the knees, but he's been great.
Now the 2-2 from Cody Perry. Delivers and misses low and outside once again. Nahar has been absolutely phenomenal against the Crawdads this summer. In games against Walnut Creek, hitting .429 with 7 RBI. 7 of his 10 RBI all season, I should add. Got multi-hit games in 5 of the 6 contests. Every one except for yesterday, where he went 0 for 3 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Still reached twice. As he now pops the 3-2 back out of play.
It's a good sign that he made contact with that. Might have been ball 4, but you were afraid of that pitch coming after 3 consecutive breaking balls out of the zone. And he maybe slows you down and you don't catch up to that fastball.
So a payoff pitch once again from Perry. Swing and a miss. Nahar goes chasing at a pitch way outside and extends that strikeout streak to 6 games.
And that's perfect pitching, following up that high fastball with another breaking ball. That one a lot more competitive than the other ones that Nahar took, a little tighter, and so he had him way out in front.
Brings up Jace Jeremiah after 2 straight strikeouts. It's already 4 on the day for Perry, who isn't quite keeping up with Bitter, but not too shabby himself. And a first pitch strike now to Jace Jeremiah, who really broke out of a mini slump yesterday with a 3-hit ball game, 2 ribbies, stole a base. He was excellent after a series in San Luis Obispo where he went just 1 for 10 with 2 strikeouts. His pitch bounced in the dirt. Will be easy for Angelo Luna to move over to second base.
And just as we sang the praises of Justice and his reaction time back there, he did not get down in time to block that one. It was tough with where it was spiked in front of him, but just tried a backhand and skip past him. You'll take this opportunity now if you're the Merchants for sure.
To try and defend Justice a little bit, he's had to block a lot of pitches
Sure.
in the dirt. Perry, coming into this inning, had just thrown just 13 of 31 pitches for strikes and has continued to be a little up and down thus far as finds the strike zone there. And now Jace Jeremiah trailing in the count 1-2 with a runner in scoring position. He's the team leader for the Merchants in RBI this summer. Got 21 of them. It's 12th best in the CCL despite missing some time with an injury. Takes the 1-2. Another pitch in the dirt. Justice stayed in front of that one and scooped it when it popped back up.
And a good take by Jace there. Got that check swing strike on the fastball up to previous pitch. So just like he got the strikeout with Nahar on that breaking ball, the next pitch he tried it again with Jeremiah and was able to hold up. 2 RBI singles yesterday for Jace, as you mentioned. You can put the bat on the ball. You take one of those right now.
Perry's favored that 2-strike breaking ball pitch. He goes back to the outside part of the plate here, but an easy identification for Jace Jeremiah and another full count. Still nothing on the scoreboard, but the pitch count for Cody Perry getting lofty with a lot of these long at-bats. 51 of those pitches, not even through 3 full innings. Now the payoff pitch from Perry. Left inside, ball 4. Jace Jeremiah battles back from 1-2 and takes his base, and now 2 on for the Merchants with Aiden Tackless coming to the dish.
Yeah, it looked like Perry just didn't finish that pitch. Fastball stayed inside. And you maybe like this matchup with the left-handed hitting Tackless coming up a little bit better as well. Looks like they've got somebody warming up out in the bullpen, but don't think he's made a move yet.
Brant Cummings wants to talk things over with his righty. I don't know if they'll make a call to the pen or if it'll just be a routine mound visit before Aiden Tackless gets a chance to get and tell you about the new man on the mound in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. New man on the mound for the Crawdads is the lefty Max Cohen, trying to hunt the lefty-lefty matchup here against Aiden Tackless. Cohen appearing in his 12th game this summer, has thrown 18 2/3 as a 5.79 ERA, 13 strikeouts to 4 walks, and inherits runners on first and second with 2 outs against Tackless. Finds the strike zone on the first pitch.
Yeah, Tackless didn't like that. He thought it was off the outside corner, but a nice breaking ball. Cohen will go fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider. That looked like the curveball there.
Tackless struck out against Cody Perry in his first at-bat now. Takes a big swing at the 0-1, but chops it back and foul. So now down 0-2. That's where you want to be if you're Max Cohen.
That's what they call a hanger, Ethan. Tackless upset with himself for missing that one. That one just kind of floated over the middle of the plate, and he missed it. So see if he can battle back.
Cohen, the incoming sophomore at Monterey Peninsula, fires the 0-2. That one off the end of the bat, lifted into shallow left field. That's going to get down. Coming around to score is Angelo Luna. Jeremiah advances to third, and the Merchants take a 1-0 lead on a bloop single off the edge of the bat of Aiden Tackless.
Well, I had identified Tackless at the beginning of the game as one of those guys we'd maybe see start to make an impact by impacting the ball. That was not hard hit, but it'll get the job done. That pitch way up and out of the zone. He did well to get the bat on it and found the right spot out and left.
Takes the second pitch for a strike. It's now 1-1.
CRAWDADS threw 2 left-handed pitchers yesterday, but one of the strengths of their pitching staff is they've got 5 lefties that they can go to.
Now the 1-1 swung. Shortstop over to Fazio. Tosses to Taylor for the third out, but not before the Merchants get on the board first. It's 1-0. The home team leads. We'll head to the 4th inning. Back for the top of the 4th inning. The Merchants now have given Jaden Bitter a lead. He's been excellent. Trying to see how much length he can give the Merchants in this ball game. It's Brandon Clisby up for the second time. So far, Bitter has thrown 38 pitches, 29 strikes. Clisby, one of 6 strikeout victims. First time through the order. Takes the first pitch away.
Pretty good symmetry from Bitter so far. Those 6 strikeouts, the other 3 outs, all 4-3 putouts.
Clisby was a CCL All-Star. Played catcher in the All-Star game and now takes a strike. He's playing left field today. He's hitting .254 this summer with 10 RBI. He's been really good against Alameda. 4 for 8 against the Merchants this summer. We didn't get a chance to see him yesterday as he taps one to the shortstop, Jeremiah, takes a hop and a shuffle, and tosses to Angelo Luna for the first out of the inning.
Jeremiah loves to show off that arm. You saw him wind up and fire across the diamond there. Should note on Clisby, there are true home games for him for Walnut Creek. Graduated from Monte Vista High School. It's got to be a thrill for him playing there during the summer.
Bitter's now retired 10 in a row. Some excellent pitching to open this game for the Merchants. Now the second go against the lefty Donnelly. Takes the first pitch away for a ball. Donnelly played with the Arroyo Seco Saints last season, hit .327 with 20 RBI, and had a huge hot streak at the end of the season. Ended on a 20-game reached base streak. He takes the 1-0 high. How about Donnelly entering today's game just 1 point shy of 1,000 OPS, 999 on the season.
That'd be fine if we wait until after today for him to get over that mark.
Now the 2-0. Donnelly tried to dig it out. Didn't bring his shovel, just a wood bat, and that's not enough to do anything with that pitch. So first strike of the at-bat, and got some big reactions from the Merchants dugout.
Mark your Kyle Floyd bingo card. Power versus power right there. 2-0 with the fastball, man. And Donnelly could not catch up.
2-1 way inside, and now a rare hitter-friendly count against Jaden Bitter in this ballgame. He has yet to walk a batter today. He's walked 15 this season in his 27 innings entering the game. Got a 2-1 record. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul, so we'll have a full count. Joey Donnelly versus Jaden Bitter, two of the CCL's best.
I was just going to say this is a really, really fun matchup. Bitter pitching very, very intelligently so far this game, and Donnelly is a real smart hitter who also does not get cheated.
Bitter still has so much room to grow. Was a position player until relatively recently, still learning the position, but you can see just the raw ball of clay that some college could be getting. Now the payoff pitch with bases empty and one out in the dirt. Ball 4, so end that streak of 10 consecutive retired as Joey Donnelly takes his base, and it's the first base runner for the Crawdads since the first batter of the ball game, Ryan Ellis, when he took the first pitch all the way out to right center.
Justice.
Yeah, and you saw Bitter upset with himself. That pitch was not as competitive as he would have liked it to be. Donnelly's too good a hitter to offer at a changeup that far in the dirt in a full count.
So onto the stage strides Zach Justice. Was 2 for 4 yesterday and has been seeing the ball really well recently in the series. Last weekend against the Stompers, went 3 for 9 with 4 runs batted in, a homer and a double. Swings through a first pitch breaking ball from Bitter here.
He's one of those guys like Donnelly where when he makes good contact, the ball just sounds different off the bat.
0-1 in the dirt, and that'll allow for an easy steal for Joey Donnelly. He moves over into scoring position. That's his 8th stolen base of the summer.
Yeah, surprising speed for Donnelly for a little bit of a bigger guy. Had a good jump, and he was off to the races. Picked the right pitch to run on with that breaking ball in the dirt as well.
So now a runner on second for Bitter to worry about. He's throwing all of his attention at Justice right now as the 1-1 pitch is dribbled foul against the number 6 overall player in the state of Oregon, number 1 ranked catcher a few classes ago. Originally from Bend, Oregon. He stayed in his home state for his college ball to play with the Ducks. Big Ten shout-out. Bitter checks on the runner, now fires to Justice, the 1-2 lifted high and foul, so Justice stays alive, and that's what Bitter will do so well, using different speeds, different locations to throw you off.
Yeah, absolutely did it. With the heater that time, you like the position you're in here, 1 and 2. Wanted to note on Justice, he actually split his high school years, 2 here in California at Bishop O'Dowd and 2 at Summit High School up in Oregon, where, as I mentioned, he was coached by Richie Sexton.
So we'll try the 1-2 again. Bitter kicks and fires, swung on, lifted out to left field. That one going way back to the warning track, but under it and making the catch is Jack Bollinger. Donnelly will try for third. That one brought Bollinger all the way out. You mentioned the power that Justice can supply, and he showed it off there and able to just get a little bit more muscle behind that one, and the Crawdads would have taken the lead. Instead, it's a second out and a runner advancing to third, but real hard-hit ball. First time we've seen one of those since the first inning.
Impressive to show that power on that pitch as well. A breaking ball down and in and just kind of drop the head of the bat on it. That indicates to you that he recognized it pretty well out of the hand. That's a great piece of hitting by Justice, and they're fortunate he has to supply all the power with the breaking ball down low in the zone. That might be the only thing that saved Bitter.
First pitch to Cam Taylor, right down the pipe for strike 1. It's guys like Justice, Taylor, Leininger, who's next up, who are going to really have to help bring the power for this Crawdads team, especially with the departures of guys like John Ewens, Casey Levitt McGee. We talked about it a lot on the broadcast yesterday. Haven't mentioned it yet today, but a midseason exodus for the Crawdads, who are missing a lot of their production offensively and now are really challenged for both high-end talent and depth on offense.
They've been such a potent offensive team during the summer as well. It really shows up in moments like these, what they're missing.
Good pitch on the 1-1 to Cam Taylor as Bitter gets ahead. Despite a recent downtick in production, the Crawdads still sit best in the CCL in runs per game at just over 7. They were held to 4 yesterday and currently scoreless here in the 4th inning. Now the 1-2 pitch with a runner on third. Tapped foul.
Good pitch. Taylor just got a piece of that. Nice off-speed pitch down and away. Got the swing that you wanted, except that you nicked it just a little bit.
Taylor grounded out to second base back in the 2nd inning. Working against Bitter. The 1-2. Competitive pitch, but just a tad outside as Bitter's pitch count still healthy here in the 4th inning. That was pitch number 50. 57, excuse me. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs against Cam Taylor. Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Winchell.
See some activity going on in that Merchants bullpen right now. I think I speak for both of us, Ethan, when I say we'd like to see Bitter maybe have the opportunity to get through at least 5 here.
Unless the plan is to be able to use Bitter again this week, which Wednesday to Sunday turnaround might be a little quick. I would throw Bitter 6 innings if you can, until he really starts to show signs of weakness, which, I mean, if you're saying no strikeouts here in the 4th inning is a sign of weakness, then sure, but he still looked really sharp for the most part, and that was a full count against Cam Taylor. Misses in the dirt. It gets past the catcher, and that'll tie this game. Cam Taylor trots down to first base, and Joey Donnelly scoots home. We're even at 1 apiece.
And we started to see a few more of those this inning. Those breaking balls and off-speed pitches being spiked in the dirt.
Third baseman, number 11.
Hindsight is 20/20, of course, but maybe in these last couple of bats, you wish Bitter maybe have gone more to the fastball. Did well to switch up to the off-speed in that 1st inning, and it was going well for him, but he's got a little too greedy with it these past couple of bats.
Spiked pitches becoming an issue for both of the starting pitchers as now Riley Leininger takes a big hack at the first pitch, falls behind 0-1. Leininger also grounded out to second in his first time up. With Cam Taylor on first, he's got 5 stolen bases this summer. Another pitch gets by Winchell, so they won't even have to attempt to steal to move Taylor over to second. He's thinking about going to third as that ball still sputtering around before Winchell picks it up. So another runner in scoring position for the Crawdads.
That time that looked like it was a fastball that he just pulled and spiked that one down and in. So Bitter literally trying to get a grip here on these pitches.
Still 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning in what is now a tied ball game. 1 run, 1 hit per side. 1-1, sharply hit past the first baseman, Luna. He couldn't collect it, and that gets all the way out to the warning track. Tackless finally snags it, but not before Cam Taylor comes in to score, and Riley Leininger comes to second base, standing up a double. Second extra base hit of the ballgame for the Crawdads, but that's a play that if you're Angelo Luna, at the very least, you got to keep it in front of you.
I was thinking the same thing. It looked like he almost tried to field it off to his side. Moved to the side. It was hit very, very hard off the bat. You understand that reaction, but you got to do everything you can to keep that in front of you.
So just a handful of batters with 2 outs here, and the Crawdads have flipped things on the Merchants to take a 2-1 lead. This game's so important in the standings. We mentioned these 2 teams currently tied in the standings for that last CCL playoff spot with 5 games to go. The Merchants hold the tiebreaker, so if they were to win this game, really, the Crawdads would have to make up 2 games in the Final Four contest, so it feels like a really must-win game for Walnut Creek today. Obviously, these 2 teams will play 2 more times after today, and those are ample opportunities to make up those 2 games. You want to give yourself the advantage any way you can if you're the Crawdads, and they've come out swinging here in the 4th inning. So still a runner on second, but now with a 2-1 lead, 2 outs against Bitter, who's lost a little bit of his touch so far in this 4th inning. Swing and a miss for Trey Johnson, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. He's been stuck on 6 strikeouts for a while, has Bitter. None here in this 4th inning. It's gone ground out, walk, fly out, walk, double. The 0-1 offering outside to Trey Johnson.
Crawdad certainly having more success this second time through, but I think you phrased it very well. He's lost his touch with some of these pitches. Those strikeouts were the result of him being able to really spin that breaking ball and control that changeup. And as soon as he lost that, he stopped having as much success.
Shadows now covering most of Pat Bale Field before the 1-1 pitch, which also misses. Mentioned coming into this inning, 29 of 38 pitches for Bitter strikes. This inning, it's been a little more 50-50, a little all over the place at times. It's got a 2-1 count now. And delivery, that's back to form. That's a real good pitch, Stephen McCown.
Very good pitch. See if he can repeat a pitch like that on the 2-2. One of the things Coach Fairfield has also said recently is
left just a tad low. It's a good pitch, but credit to Trey Johnson for recognizing
on this 3-2 with that take. It was a good take.
Crucial pitch upcoming. The payoff pitch misses. Ball 4.
Bitter wanted that one.
It was certainly close, and that's definitely a pitch at times we've been seeing called a strike, but I'm not arguing with home plate about it in just a moment.
Let's go to the camera.
New man on the mound, A.J. Gamboa in the game for the Merchants. Enters for Jaden Bitter, whose day is done after going 3 2/3 looked really sharp in those first 3 innings, struck out 6 Crawdad batters, but lost things a little bit here in the top of the 4th, surrendering the lead. And Gamboa now inherits runners on first and second, 2 out still in this inning, and Hunter Hirayama will try and bring him home and extend this lead.
Hunter Hirayama.
Hirayama struck out last inning. It's the 7th Crawdad to step into the batter's box this inning. Gamboa fastball, curveball, also has a changeup, a slider, and a cutter. Of the season, he's thrown 12 innings so far this summer, 2.25 ERA for Gamboa. 1-0 record.
He's pitched around a lot of traffic. He's used to these situations. Relies on mixing those 5 pitches. Also relies on getting ahead, so not a great sign that he's behind 2-0 here.
Mentioned the 2-0 count now to Hunter Hirayama, the newest Crawdad. Checks in on the runner at second before firing the pitch. It's slapped over to Jace Jeremiah, who takes the easy out at second. O'Sullivan is there for the 3rd out. But the Crawdads poke 2 across and take the lead. We'll head to the home half of the 4th inning. We keep rolling along here on the Merchant Streaming Network. Another inning of work for Max Cohen, and now he's got the lead. It's 2-1 Crawdads. Ethan Siegel and Kyle Floyd here on the Merchant Streaming Network.
Second baseman, number 4, Brendan O'Sullivan.
As you might have heard our PA announcer Octavian shout out, Brendan O'Sullivan will be due first up this inning. It's 5, 6, 7 coming up for the Merchants. O'Sullivan, a fly out to left in his first appearance. Facing the lefty Cohen now. First pitch strike. Cohen doesn't have the same velocity as a guy like Perry or certainly a guy like Bitter, but more a finesse style pitcher.
A lot of movement on that fastball there.
He's working fast. Misses low and away for ball 1. O'Sullivan mentioned it up his last time up at the plate. Still looking to get that bat going. Still just 1 hit this summer. Does have 3 walks, but 6 strikeouts. This time lifts one over towards the Crawdads dugout, and it lands in the stairs of the dugout for strike 2.
You could put a black and white filter over this game, and I think Cohen would fit right in with that delivery as well. A little short windup, and then the Rockettes-like leg kick out before he delivers the pitch.
The 1-2 kick and delivery left a little low.
Because that's another breaking ball that caught a lot of the plate. Just got a little too big and popped it up. I think what happens with these 5 through 9 spots, Ethan, is going to say a lot about what happens with this offense today. 5 through 9 all struggling so far this summer offensively. Bollinger's turned it up a little bit. One or two guys down at the bottom half of this lineup is going to have to step up.
Yesterday it was the top half of the lineup supplying most of the production. Jeremiah, even a guy like Tackless, and even the 9-hitter, we'll give credit to Chase Dittmar, who reached base a handful of times to get things going as Jack Bollinger takes a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Second straight day without Jackson Nystrom in the lineup, and definitely missing his power. No extra base hits in yesterday's contest. Now a 1-2 count against Bollinger.
It's a great call by you, Ethan. Hadn't noted that.
Big swing and a miss. Just 4 pitches for Max Cohen to strike out Jack Bollinger, and he's been working fast and working efficiently.
Yeah, nasty stuff there. Kind of the prototypical at-bat you're looking for as a pitcher with the left-on-left matchup, teasing the breaking ball on the outside corner and then finishing him off with that fastball up and in. Bollinger really upset with himself after that at-bat.
Another first pitch strike to Riley Winchell. I mentioned Nystrom not in the lineup, not even available today. And without both him and Cy Turner, those are your 2 leading extra base hit getters for this Merchants team. It's going to have to be similar to yesterday, where they were able to put together a win 1 base at a time. 7 hits, all singles, 4 hit by pitches, 4 walks. Just some timely hitting and good base running as Winchell's now down 0-2, takes a pitch in the dirt. Base is still empty here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Maybe like to see these Merchants hitters be a little more aggressive early in the count. Cohen's got away with a couple fastballs that caught a lot of the zone.
1-2 breaking ball left high in the zone, but Winchell pops it up to left field. The shortstop DeFazio trails back to make the snag. A 1-2-3 inning for Max Cohen. To the 5th we go on the Merchant streaming network. Another inning for AJ Gamboa. The Crawdads lead 2-1 in this crucial game in the final week of the CCO regular season that has really flown by, Kyle. Doesn't it feel like just the other day when we were out here in the first week of the season talking about how much of the season there was still to come?
Really just out of nowhere.
First pitch to Gamboa misses away to Nico They're taking it away from us so soon. Yeah. Still got 2 home games after this one on the season as DeFazio takes another ball. The 2 spot in the 4th inning was fueled by 3 walks and then the double from Riley Leininger. Some command getting away from the Merchants in this game is a really nice pitch right on the black for the first strike of the at-bat. Totally froze DeFazio.
Gamboa specifically, he's had good results with the 2.25 ERA, but 12 hits, 8 walks in 12 innings. He's been playing with a lot of fire.
2-1 is tapped foul, but it's a good point. Gamboa, despite the 2.25 ERA, you would think really outstanding metrics, but just a 1.67 whip, meaning he's given up closer to 2 base runners per inning than he is to 1.
It's a hard way to live. I want to see some clean innings from him.
Chance to start the 5th inning outright. It's a 2-2 count. He gets his signal from the catcher Winchell. Now lifts the leg and fires, but leaves it high for ball 3. And yet another full count. We've seen plenty of those in the middle part of this game.
Yeah. DeFazio is one of those guys who always does something good for this offense. He's gotten on base in 10 of 13 July games.
And now the full count pitch is spiked in the dirt, so a leadoff walk for DeFazio.
Make that 11. Highlighted that to make the point that if we're going to have command issues, DeFazio and then also Ellis coming up as well, they're going to make you throw strikes.
The Crawdads are 3rd in the CCL in walks per game at just under 6. That's their 4th in this contest. It's a really good combination, especially when you mention that no one strikes out less than these Crawdads. Just about 6.5 times per game. They were striking out left and right against Bitter early, but after 1 time through the order, we've kind of shored things up and seeing the ball a lot better. All 4 of those walks have come in the 2nd time through the order. Now we turn the lineup card over for the 2nd time back to Ryan Ellis, who's 1 for 2 with that leadoff double and a ground out to second. The 0-1 looped out into center field. Nahar ranging back, but is under it and collects it for the first out. DeFazio thought about trying to go to second, but really no play to be done there. So a fly out to center field for the first out of this 5th inning. And mention those walks. And it's a Merchants team that's been prone to giving them up. They're top 5 in the CCL in the amount of batters they walk per game.
About Donnelly and Justice after that, with the power that they've got.
Clisby 0 for 2 on the day. Gamboa wants to look back at DeFazio.
Should mention Clisby was 2 for 3 the last time he played, back on July 20th. Scored a run, had a stolen base.
O'Sullivan and Jeremiah playing at double play depth, but the pitch into Clisby, a good one for a first pitch strike. Overall, this Merchants pitching staff, middle of the pack in the CCL in ERA. It's at 8th out of 14 teams in the CCL.
Inconsistent about this pitching staff.
Runner goes, but Clisby spikes the 0-1 pitch foul, so DeFazio departs what he thought would be his new home at second base and trails back to first. Now an 0-2 count against Clisby. I will say, though, for this pitching staff, a marked improvement over last year where they finished last in the North Division in ERA. Gave up almost 7 runs per game. A lot of hit batsmen, a lot of wild pitches, and a ton of homers allowed, 19 in 32 regular season games, which is astronomical here in the CCL. Now the 0-2 to Clisby, low in the dirt. A throwback from Winchell. Winchell found a lot of success with that throwback in the first game of the series against the Blues out on the Central Coast. He threw 1 runner out stealing and threw 2 more out on throwbacks back to the bases, 1 at third, 1 at second. That time trying to go to first. was a series that the Merchants were swept in. Now the 1-2, swing and a miss. Gamboa rings up Clisby, his second time striking out today. First strikeout of the day for A.J. Gamboa, and a big second out.
A great pitch there as well with that high fastball, playing off the previous pitches in the at-bat. And as I hinted before, a huge out to get ahead of Donnelly here.
Brings up Joey Donnelly, who got things going for the Crawdads in the fourth, walked, stole a base, and then came around to score the first run of the game for Walnut Creek. First pitch, another good one from Gamboa.
Also want to note about the pitching staff being inconsistent. It's also partly a product, I think, of the way that the Merchants use so many pitchers. When you've got 4, 5, 6 guys going in a game, it's really tough to not have one of those guys having an off night.
Another good pitch on the 0-1. He gets ahead. And not to mention that, but just it can be really hard to build a rhythm, build some momentum when you're pitching just 3-out increments at a time once every 4 or 5 days. Gamboa's done a good job, despite those circumstances, to really lock in here in the 5th inning. Now the 0-2, just misses. I don't know where, but home plate umpire Harvey Maxey, I think, called that one a little bit off the plate, so a tough pitch to take for Joey Donnelly, but he's rewarded with ball 1.
It's a real good pitch from Gamboa there. Not the biggest strikeout guy. Real feather in his cap if he can get Donnelly.
1-2 tapped foul off home plate, so we'll do it again. DeFazio still standing on first after that leadoff walk. He's got 2 stolen bases this summer. Joined the team a little bit later, so smaller sample size. Donnelly this summer is second among all hitters in the CCL in batting average, 10th in RBI. He readies for the 1-2 pitch from Gamboa and blisters another one foul to stay alive.
Say what you want about whether or not it might be fortunate or smoke and mirrors. Gamboa, you got to give credit. He has pitched with a lot of traffic and gotten out of a lot of trouble, to the point where last inning you're confident bringing him in with runners on. He gets out of it. Trying to do it here with the runner on first.
Another pickoff attempt for Gamboa, who I think that's well put. A guy who really thrives in chaotic situations, or maybe not thrives, but at least remains the same, is used to it. Has that clutch gene now. Throws the 1-2 pitch, and Donnelly lifts it out into center field. Nahar moves over to his right and makes the easy catch for the 3rd out. A scoreless inning in the top of the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning, where the Merchants will try and make back some of this lead. Don't go anywhere. Eight, 9-1 due up for the Merchants against Max Cohen, who made quick work of the side in the 4th frame. Trying to repeat it against the bottom of the Merchants order in the 5th frame. Angelo Luna, big hack at the first pitch. Still just 3 total hits in the ballgame, 2 for the visitors, 1 for the Merchants. Came in the 3rd inning, an Aiden tackless bloop single. Just haven't really been able to line up any of these pitches so well. It's been a lot of awkward dribblers, pop-outs.
Give credit to the CRAWDADS pitching staff as well.
Nice sliding play by the second baseman. The throw took the first baseman, Taylor, off the bag, but he was able to scamper back over there in time. Really nice sliding play by Hirayama. And then good heads-up play by Cam Taylor to realize he still had some time in another awkward grounder to start the 5th inning.
Well, I think Luna maybe took that play for granted a little bit as well. Was kind of giving a jog down to first base. It's not the first time we've seen that with him. If he's busting it there, that errant throw, we mentioned how the CRAWDADS defenses had trouble lately. You give it a hard 90, he might be on first base.
Caleb Latimer takes the first pitch for a ball. He enters today hitting 169, and you mentioned with a guy like Brendan O'Sullivan that's so early that it's too early to make a declaration about what he is this summer. Caleb Latimer, a guy we've seen for most of the summer, he's now up to 78 plate appearances, and obviously still not a huge sample size, just under 24 games, but in terms of this summer, is it just is what it is with Caleb Latimer, a guy who's not going to hit for a ton of contact, but is able to draw some walks and strikes out a little more than you'd like?
Well, I think for a guy a lot of hard contact in terms of extra base hits, you're going to be susceptible to the holes. We saw that bloop single with tackless that happened to fall. We haven't seen a lot of that for Latimer when he's put the ball in play. Just hasn't gone his way.
Big swing, and now a full count for Latimer. Payoff pitch swung on and driven out into straightaway center field. Trey Johnson gets there for the second out. I was going to say, the last time we saw Caleb Latimer at this park, he did have one of those huge extra base hits, a home run out to left field. Should have been a 2-run homer. We don't need to relitigate what happened in that 17-1 loss, but Caleb Latimer's homer was
a good example of what I was talking about. How many times have we seen Dom Nahar hit a ball just like that? Maybe slightly towards the end of the bat, but pretty good contact out to center field, and it drops in front of the center fielder. That time it just carried. Not a bad at bat from Latimer, but again, just doesn't have the hits to show for it.
Nahar up once again. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a hit by pitch. It's his first time facing Cohen, and he takes the pitch. Fell victim to his 23rd strikeout of the season. 1-1 pitch is skipped into the dirt.
I want to continue giving the CRAWDADS pitchers some credit as well. We mentioned how good Perry looked, but I mentioned last inning that I thought that the Merchants should maybe be a little more aggressive in the count, and Cohen has started more of these hitters off speed with breaking balls. Really mixed it up well.
Nahar rolls over one down the third base line, but it trails foul for the second strike of the at-bat. Nahar really has been a true leadoff hitter all summer long for the Merchants. .327 batting average, a very similar slugging percentage. A ton of power, but he's just been so valuable, not only because what he's done in terms of hitting for average, but also the speed, stolen bases, and also just what he's been able to do as a roaming center fielder. Now has a 2-2 count with 2 outs and the bases empty against Max Cohen. Digs out at a breaking ball, a slow pitch in the dirt, fooled Nahar. 1-2-3 go the Merchants in the 5th. And now to the 6th inning we'll go. You won't want to miss what should be an exciting second half of this close and important ball game. Top of the 6th now, still a low-scoring affair at Pat Bale. 2-1 the Crawdads lead, hoping to extend that lead here in the top of the 6th inning. A.J. Gamboa, who was sharp last inning after a leadoff walk, retired the side. Will face 4, 5, 6 here in the 6th inning, starting with Zach Justice, who gets ahead in the count 2-0.
Looked like a nice pitch from Gamboa there, just didn't get the call.
The 2-0 lifted out into straightaway right field. Trailing under it is Aiden Tackless for the first out of the inning. Gamboa not blowing away with any crazy filth or big strikeout numbers, but he's come in and held the score where it is, done his job so far.
Definitely relying on just missing the barrel. When he's at his best, that's what he's doing. And so he'll allow a lot of contact, but so far in this game, it's been soft contact. That kind of a weak fly ball out to right field.
Brings up Cam Taylor, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and came around to score the run that gave the Crawdads the lead 2 innings ago. Takes the first pitch outside. Cam Taylor spent this past year at Eastern Kentucky in his redshirt sophomore season. Hit just 115 and just 26 at-bats and entered the transfer portal a handful of weeks ago. Still has 3 years of eligibility remaining. There's Cam Taylor, who's been used all over the field for the Crawdads. He gets ahead 2-0. He's playing first base today. We saw him in the outfield yesterday. Hitting .247 this summer. Righty versus lefty matchup. Gamboa fires the 2-0 and clips the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Again, Gamboa getting behind in the count 2-0 and trying to fight back. Did so successfully against Justice.
Now the 2-1 is chopped foul, so quickly Gamboa gets himself back into the count. Haven't been a ton of base runners for either side. The Merchants have stranded 3 in this game, the Crawdads 4. It's been relatively clean. Some good pitching, some good defense. Now the 2-2 from Gamboa against Taylor. Swing and a miss. I think it hit a tiny bit of that bat, but still went into the glove of the catcher, Winchell, for out number 2 here in the 6th.
Definitely foul tipped, held on there by Winchell, but that's a great example of Gamboa just missing that barrel and just keeping him off balance. Won't wow you with the velocity on that fastball, but if you're not expecting it, you can get the swing and the strikeout like he did in that case with Taylor.
Brings up Riley Leininger, who had that big RBI double last time up in the 4th inning. Entered today's contest with a .402 on-base percentage. Big swing and a miss at the first offering. Leininger also leads the Crawdads with 22 walks on the season. That puts him top 10 in the California Collegiate League. Another swing at the 0-1 pitch. This one sky high in the infield. Caleb Latimer running over, but it's going to land. A lot of Merchants thought they had claims to that ball, but it lands just in the grass in front of the pitcher, Gamboa. Latimer called everyone off and then went sprinting toward the ball. Just some poor communication for the Merchants, and it'll lead to Riley Leininger standing on first base.
Yeah, Latimer playing third today with Ditmar on a visit back east. And Latimer is very versatile. We've seen him all over the infield. We've seen him in the outfield, but it's plays like that where communication between the infielders and assigning the proper responsibilities is really important, that things can get confused. I like to maybe see O'Sullivan coming in from second be the one to call everybody else off for that ball.
Be ruled as a hit. They're still deliberating about who should have been entitled to that ball. And now we'll call for time, and it looks like that'll actually end A.J. Gamboa's day. An unceremonious ending after, for the most part, some really good work out of the pen for A.J. Gamboa, but a dropped infield fly will spell the end of Gamboa's day. A bullpen call for the Merchants, and we'll take a break on the broadcast and be back in just a moment. 2 outs, runner on first for Dom Crestinzio, who gets a check swing first pitch, a loop over to Caleb Latimer. A quick out for Dom Crestinzio to end the top of the 6th inning. Barely had time to say Walnut Creek Crawdads before we came back, and that'll send us to the home half of the 6th. Merchants still trail 2-1.
Yeah, you want to?
Folks, we're actually going to take a quick break on the broadcast. Going to try and set you up with a little bit better of a view camera-wise. So there is a chance that the stream will go down momentarily, or if not, create an entirely new stream. But if you just stay attached to the Merchants YouTube Live page, we should be back up hopefully in the next few minutes for you. Don't go anywhere. Sorry in advance about some additional technical difficulties, but we'll hopefully have you taken care of in the next few minutes. Stick with us. Appreciate it.